Some journeys begin not with grand ambitions, but with simple, persistent curiosity. In 1973, a boy named Sergey was born into a Jewish family in Moscow, in what was then the Soviet Union. He wasn't wealthy. In fact, his parents struggled against a system that often held them back. Barriers built by politics, prejudice, and fear. And while most kids played outside, Sergey had his face buried in books, math puzzles, science stories, anything that would help him understand the world better. But there was one thing even his brilliant mind couldn't figure out. Why couldn't his family be free to chase their own dreams? And sometimes, the boldest dreams require a leap into the unknown. When Sergey was 6, his parents made a choice that would change everything. They decided to leave the Soviet Union. Their destination? The United States. They had almost nothing but a few suitcases and an unbreakable will. And when they finally landed in Maryland in 1979, Sergey couldn't speak English. He felt like an outsider. But where others might have given up, he embraced this new world like a puzzle to be solved. Every word learned, every math problem cracked, was one small victory on the path ahead. And sometimes, destiny strikes when two curious minds collide. By the time Sergey was a young man at Stanford University, his hunger for knowledge was unstoppable. And then, in the halls of academia, he met someone just like him. A shy, sharp computer science student named Larry Page. Late nights, endless debates. Together they dreamed up a new way to navigate the exploding jungle of the internet. An algorithm built not on keywords but on connections. And in those first scribbles and rough drafts, between servers humming in their dorms, one big idea began to take shape. That information could, and should, be organized for everyone. And they were just the pair to do it. And sometimes world-changing companies don't begin in glass towers. They begin in borrowed garages. By 1998, Sergey and Larry had built their first prototype, a simple search engine powered by a game-changing algorithm they called PageRank. But they had no office, no real funding, and nowhere to go. That's when a friend offered them a space in her garage in Menlo Park. And there, surrounded by computer towers, pizza boxes, and whiteboards, Google was born. Investors didn't see the value at first. Search engines were already everywhere. But Sergey and Larry weren't just making a search engine. They were making one that was faster, smarter, and built for the future. And day after day, they kept working, pushing their idea forward one small breakthrough at a time. And sometimes, the most powerful ideas come from those nobody expects. By 1999, Google was facing giants like Yahoo and Microsoft. Industry leaders told them their idea was too simple to last, that they'd never make money without flashy banner ads or a big marketing campaign. But Sergey and Larry stuck to their quiet, clean design. One empty search box on a white screen, powered by an algorithm nobody else had. And people loved it. Traffic skyrocketed. Investors finally took notice. And as millions began to trust Google to give them answers, the company went from underdog startup to the center of the internet universe. And in choosing a better way, they built the most important company of the information age. Google wasn't just a search engine anymore. It was becoming the way people learned, worked, and communicated. And behind it was Sergey, the quiet kid who once couldn't speak English, rewriting the world one search at a time. Every breakthrough took him and Larry closer to their mission: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And long after they'd moved out of that small garage, the spark that had driven them kept burning. Google became not just a company, but a part of life itself.
And even after changing the internet forever, Sergey never stopped pushing the boundaries. By the time Google went public in 2004, the boy who had arrived in America with little more than a dream had become a billionaire, one of the most influential people on the planet. But Sergey Brin wasn't satisfied just winning the search game. He and Larry began expanding into self-driving cars, artificial intelligence, green energy, and even health tech. And every new project reflected that same relentless belief that technology can make life better, that the impossible is just waiting for someone brave enough to attempt it. And in Sergey's story, you could feel the echoes of that first boy from Moscow, the one who once had to fight just to chase his questions, and who never forgot the value of freedom, learning, and innovation. Inspiration for the next generation. And if one immigrant kid could build this, what might you do? More than 25 years after Sergey co-founded Google, its impact is everywhere. In phones, in classrooms, and across every corner of the world. And his story still shines as a reminder that your background doesn't define your future, that an idea can grow into a global force, that curiosity and hard work can move mountains, and that even if you arrive with nothing, no money, no connections, maybe not even the right language, you can still change everything. So next time you open a blank search box and type your first question, remember Sergey. Remember that every world-changing idea begins with one brave, hopeful soul who dares to believe they can do more, and then dare to do more yourself.